You can only go so fast. And you know that since the Democrats love the EU, they love Europe, they always want to be in Europe, they want to do the same thing here in the United States. Don't forget your constitutional rights. Those can be damned, even your movement controlled. The National Transportation Safety Board is recommending that all new vehicles get technology that makes speeding, quote, more difficult or completely impossible.
Laura Ingram's whining rant about speeding being a constitutional right perfectly encapsulates the current state of the Republican Party and their, media ecosystem.
Ned, this is why they love the lockdowns. They like to keep us all moving as little as possible permanently.
Most of those people advocating for this, they don't care about butchering babies. So this is about control. And they're rapacious in their pursuit of control. And the question then becomes, Laura, let's say they want to curb your speed now. What if in the future it becomes, we want to kill switch in your car. We don't like the fact that you're driving too far on fossil fuels. The fact of the matter is they're never going to stop. And we need to understand that freedom doesn't end overnight. It usually dies a slow death of 1,000 cuts as we slowly concede these supposed small things to those who have this voracious appetite for control.
And I think you hit the nail on the head. Just like we just discussed the erosion or the would-be erosion of our Second Amendment rights, because there's a gun emergency. Right. Everything is an emergency except their lousy leadership, right? So that's what they want to do. They want to control how you can defend yourself. They want to control how far you go, how fast you go, how you can eat, what you can eat, how you can cook your food. It's not about the green agenda. It's about control.
If you're not paying close attention, you may actually believe this is a legitimate story angle. They, the Democrats, want to control us, indoctrinating instead of reporting. That's what it's called. It is another absurd choice by Fox News and Laura Ingraham, rooted in the same old motivation, twisting news and in some cases making news up in order to control or spark a narrative in exchange for securing political power for the far right. Ingraham doesn't even try to hide the blatant hypocrisy here. Double standards, too, you might say. Conservatives complaining about being controlled, given the policies they've rolled out. I mean, what about controlling certain groups? Women, minorities, even your vote.
And we should ignore the voices of those who think the Dobbs decision was wrongly decided and that abortion should be enshrined in the Constitution. Our framers never would have considered it. It's a real mistake to think that the GOP could have lied forever to the voters about its views on abortion, that it could claim to be pro-life but always keep Roe in place. That's the type of cynical thinking that caused GOP voters to turn on the Bushes, then, of course, turn on the Cheneys and pick Trump instead. Overturning Roe versus Wade is the greatest accomplishment the conservative movement has had since the end of the Cold War. We should be proud of it and build on it, not run away from it. Joe Biden held kind of an over-the-top, celebration, this extravaganza that was named the Respect for Marriage Act, a bill that moves to restrict freedom of religion and freedom of speech even, meaning whether you're Catholic or evangelical or maybe Muslim, any serious person of faith, you will not necessarily have the rights tomorrow that you had yesterday.
You know, if you are one of the people out there who thought Fox paying that record settlement, $787 billion in just one case for lying to viewers was going to change the outlet, you were not correct. The premeditated lies are still front and center. Controlling the speed of American drivers, it may very well end up an issue in the upcoming presidential race. Ingraham's segment is probably a test, just floating it out there to see what takes hold, just like they did with anti-wokeness and scores of women running to get abortions in their 9th month. It wasn't true then. It's not true now. It's not happening. And don't forget Hunter Biden's laptop.